Hello, I'm Johnny, and today's topic is congratulations to Grizzlies' Jaren Jackson Jr. for winning the Defensive Player of the Year, and both the 76ers and Kings are up 2-0 in the first round of the playoffs.
No best.
First, let's look at the news. The league has announced the winner of the Defensive Player of the Year award. Congratulations to Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Grizzlies. He becomes the fourth player in history to win this award at the age of 23. The other three are Dwight Howard, Alvin Robertson, and currently with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard. JJJ not only led the league in block shots this season but also had the best defensive efficiency. There's no doubt he deserves the award. Additionally, Jaren Jackson Jr. not only averaged 18 points per game this season, but for 2 consecutive seasons, he has made over 100 three-pointers. With his strong defense and inside-out offensive capabilities, he has become another versatile big man in the league. Players like Brook Lopez of the Bucks and Miles Turner of the Pacers also fit this mold. Honestly, these are the kind of players that every team wants. Speaking of Brook Lopez, he was also a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year award, as was Cavaliers' Evan Mobley. In terms of total points, Lopez ranked second, and Mobley ranked third. Personally, I think Mobley's score was a bit low. The Warriors' Draymond Green ranked fourth, and the Heat's Bam Adebayo ranked fifth. In my opinion, if the Warriors and Heat had better records, these two players might have had a chance to be finalists. Additionally, the Bulls' Alex Caruso received votes, which is a significant affirmation for him. Surprisingly, Nets' Nick Claxton's score was a bit low, and last season's Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, didn't receive any votes, which I find quite unexpected. Alright, that's it for the Defensive Player of the Year segment. Congratulations to JJJ. Before we move on to the next topic, please hit the like button for our video. Your support is our biggest motivation to create content. Thank you. Alright, moving on to the game recap, the 76ers defeated the Nets 96-84 at home today, leading the series 2-0. The game was quite close in the first half, with the Nets leading by 5 points at halftime, 49-44. The key to the Nets' lead was Cameron Johnson, who scored 22 points in the first half, including 4 three-pointers. A brief introduction to this player: standing 6 feet 8 inches, he was originally a Suns player and joined the Nets mid-season due to a trade. Fans might be more focused on Mikal Bridges, as his scoring prowess has been fierce since joining the Nets, but Cameron Johnson's performance has not been bad either, averaging 16 points per game after joining the Nets. With Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, and even Joe Harris on the roster, the team's frontcourt strength is quite complete. Besides being a great outside shooter, Cameron Johnson also had a fantastic block on Joel Embiid in the second quarter. However, the 76ers went on a 24-14 run in the third quarter, taking the lead. In the middle of the fourth quarter, Tyrese Maxey took over, hitting a three-pointer, followed by a fast break after a block by Embiid. When Embiid was double-teamed late in the game, it was Maxey again, hitting another three-pointer, securing the 76ers' second straight win at home. We mentioned in yesterday's live stream that the Nets currently lack a steady ball handler, and relying solely on Spencer Dinwiddie and Mikal Bridges is not enough at this stage. This is something the Nets need to address in the offseason. However, the Nets' defense was excellent today, forcing Embiid into 8 turnovers and James Harden into 5. If it weren't for Tyrese Maxey stepping up and scoring 33 points, the Nets might have had a chance to win on the road. With Harden shooting just 3 of 13, Tyrese Maxey became the key to the team's victory. Additionally, Tobias Harris scored 20 points, and it was his offensive support in the third quarter that allowed the 76ers to take the lead. Looking at this, fans should be able to understand the difference between the two teams' rosters. In short, although the 76ers are led by Embiid and Harden, when they struggle, they still have Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, who can both take charge offensively. The next step for the Nets is to find another steady ball handler or even an all-star player. Next, let's focus on the Kings vs. Warriors game. This was a must-win for the Warriors, and there was good news as Jordan Poole, who might not have played, did take the court. In other words, the Warriors faced the Kings with a complete lineup. Also, Andrew Wiggins, who came off the bench last game, was adjusted to a starter, which makes sense as he's originally a starting player. I'll quickly go through the game since I know everyone wants to discuss Draymond Green and Domantas Sabonis' matchup, but many people didn't have time to watch the game. At the end of the first quarter, the Warriors led, thanks to their excellent team defense, and the Kings only made 1 of 13 three-pointers, trailing by 6 points. However, in the second quarter, the Kings found their groove and went on a 41-29 run. Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter made consecutive three-pointers at the beginning of the quarter, helping the Kings lead by 6 points at halftime, 58-52. For For the Warriors, Stephen Curry scored 15 points in the first half. However, we need to pay attention to Kevin Looney, who had 3 fouls in just 11 minutes of play, which means he had foul trouble in this game. Midway through the third quarter, the Kings led by 11 points after Malik Monk scored 4 points in a row. I personally thought the home team, the Kings, could have extended the lead further. However, the Warriors are an experienced and resilient team. Near the end of the third quarter, Moses Moody and Andrew Wiggins teamed up for an 8-0 run, keeping the score close with only an 8-point difference. Although the Kings led in the early part of the fourth quarter, they couldn't widen the gap. Midway through the fourth, Klay Thompson, who has made 300 three-pointers this season, hit back-to-back threes, both assisted by Curry, closing the gap to just 1 point. The most incredible thing about the Kings this season is the resilience of their young players. Whether it was the 2-OT game against the Clippers or the last game, they always managed to score and eventually win whenever their opponents closed the gap or took the lead. In the final moments of the fourth quarter, Domantas Sabonis first scored on an offensive rebound, followed by a De'Aaron Fox three-pointer assisted by Davion Mitchell. Mitchell then hit another three-pointer in the closing moments, sealing a 114-106 home victory over the Warriors, leading the series 2-0. The Kings have won 2 straight games in their first playoff appearance in 17 years, with their young players performing exceptionally well this year. As for the Warriors, they'll return home with a 0-2 record, which will put immense pressure on them. Today, the Splash Brothers on the Warriors combined for 49 points. However, Stephen Curry's performance wasn't particularly good, as he committed 5 turnovers and only made 3 of his 13 three-point attempts, which is not ideal by his standards. Additionally, Andrew Wiggins scored 22 points in this game. It's worth noting that Jordan Poole, who averages 20 points per game this season, only scored 4 points, which was another key reason for the team's loss. Furthermore, the Warriors gave up 12 offensive rebounds to the Kings in this game, and in the 2 games combined, the Warriors allowed 29 offensive rebounds, 17 in the first game. This is something they need to address when they return home. As for the Kings, Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox both scored 24 points. It's important to note that in the previous game, the Kings won thanks to a surprise contribution from Trey Lyles off the bench. Today, another surprise came from Davion Mitchell, who scored 14 points, including 2 three-pointers. Malik Monk also contributed 18 points, so having multiple scoring options was another reason the Kings secured the victory. Now let's discuss the controversial play involving Draymond Green. It happened midway through the fourth quarter when Domantas Sabonis lost his balance while trying to grab a rebound and fell to the floor. At this moment, Green's foot was on the left side of Sabonis' face, so Sabonis tried to pull Green's foot. Green then stepped on Sabonis' chest with his right foot and jumped off of him, putting his full body weight on Sabonis. Ultimately, Green was ejected from the game. After the game, Green told the media, "My foot got caught, and I needed a place to land. But the referee said I stepped too hard." Whether you agree with Green's statement or not, we should respect everyone's opinions as they may differ. According to an insider, Sabonis is currently undergoing further evaluation. We hope there's nothing serious, as he's a core player for the team. Personally, I think it's simple: stepping on someone is wrong. There's not much to say about that. All players have minor actions on the court, and we've criticized Chris Paul for bumping into Jose Alvarado, Draymond Green for poking Nikola Jokic's eye, and Dillon Brooks for causing Gary Payton II's injury while trying to block a shot. So, regardless of what you think Sabonis' motive was for grabbing Green's foot, wouldn't it have been enough for Green to forcefully shake off Sabonis' hand? I believe there was no need for such an action. Some fans might argue that Sabonis initiated the contact by grabbing Green's foot, so both players are at fault. In fact, Sabonis was also called for a technical foul. I can accept that both sides were at fault, but as I mentioned earlier, minor actions are inevitable on the court. The issue we're discussing now is whether Green's actions could cause injury to another player. This is a different level of concern than just minor actions. Additionally, if an opponent deliberately provokes Green and he loses his temper and gets ejected, that's not the kind of emotional control the Warriors organization wants to see, is it? Furthermore, it remains to be seen whether Green will be suspended by the league. If he is suspended, what will the Warriors do? So regardless of whether Green's actions were intentional, it seems that he and the Warriors are the ones being harmed. What are your thoughts on the Draymond Green incident? Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Let's have a relaxed chat about the NBA.